Oh,
It's now live.
welcome everybody. Okay, my name is Amir Sharma. Welcome to the webinar here. So, without further ado, let's get going. Now, this is going to be a really interesting webinar, especially as you know, if you're into the gym business, if you've got a gym and you want to make it thriving, this is exactly what you're going to need. So, I want to show something to you, and I want you to picture something real quick, right? The first thing I want you to kind of picture within your mind right now, I want you to picture a specific person, okay? Now, let's just say it's 9 o'clock at night, right? It's Tuesday night, an average weekday, dinner's done, the kids are in bed, and somewhere in your city, right, there's a person that just made a decision, a real decision. This is the night they're going to join a gym, right? They're going to join the gym. That's it, done. So what are they going to do? They're going to pick up their phone. They're going to open Google, and they type in 3 words. Those 3 words: gym near me. Now, once that happens, in that moment, that person is ready to go. They've got their credit card out. They've already decided they want to join a gym, right? And the only question left in their mind, you have to remember this, is which gym are they going to join? And that obviously results in the fact that, does your gym show up? Is your gym going to be in those first results? Or does the gym 3 blocks down the street get the member that you should have actually received? And here's the part that really stings. Nothing about your facilities changed. Your coaches, your equipment, your community, it's all better. But they simply never saw you or your gym, right? And I've watched literally hundreds of gym owners just get asked this one simple question. It's a very important question. How many members did Google bring you last month? And almost all of them give the same answer. And it's an honest answer. I have no idea. So, I've spent more than 20 years into SEO, and I'll tell you plainly that not knowing this answer is one of the most expensive blind spots in your gym right now, hands down. Because search visibility only matters when it turns into calls, trials, and members. And most owners have no idea whether theirs does. The gyms that figure out local search, the map, the website, the reviews, they build a compounding advantage, right? More Google visibility, more calls and trial requests, more members, and more reviews. Now that feeds right back into stronger rankings. And that's how search turns into market share. All right, it's very important to understand that. So basically, here's what tonight is all about. All right, that 9 p.m. Google buyer, and why most gyms are invisible to them, why as an SEO guy, I'm backing Majin Buu's system, and how the revenue math actually works, right? You make sure you stay until the end, because the territory piece is very crucial to understand and to jump in, because there's no better time than now. So without further ado, let's get going with it. So let me ask you again, something really honest. Think about your marketing over the last 12 months, right? Just have a deep think about it. I want you to ask yourself, okay, you've posted on, Instagram, you've done all that fun stuff. It's very useful for brand and community, but it's rarely where someone really goes when they're ready to to choose a gym tonight. They're not going to go on Instagram. You've probably done Facebook ads. They can work, but you're still interrupting people who weren't actively searching specifically for you, right? And you may also have a decent website, right? Probably a very good one that's only an asset if strangers can find it and it converts them. So let me ask you directly, how many strangers found your gym through search last month? Not people who already knew you. I'm talking about strangers, right? Most gym owners have no answer to that. And that is the real problem. So none of those tactics which I've just shown you are wrong, right? They're just built for a different moment. Social media reaches people who are scrolling, interrupted mid-feed, not thinking about your gym, right? That's a cold audience. And it's an expensive one to reach. It's very hard to convert. And the moment you stop posting, that reach completely disappears, right? And the person searching gym near me at 9 p.m., you have to remember, this person is not cold. They're very warm. They're pretty much ready to go. They're not browsing, right? They've already decided. They just need to pick a gym. And that is actually one of the most valuable prospects in your entire market. And most gyms are completely invisible to them. So in most local markets, right, there are hundreds, often thousands of people searching for a gym every single month. Gym near me, personal trainer near me, CrossFit near me, best gym in your city. Right now, this month, wallets are ready to go. They're ready to pay. And every single one of those searches is a member who's already raised their hand, right? And every month you don't show up, that demand goes to whoever does. It's very important to understand this. Now, let's calculate the pain, right? Let's just not feel it. What is one member actually worth, right? If your average member pays $150 a month and stays for 18 months, each new member is worth roughly about $2,700 in lifetime value, right? Now, follow the math for one local search improvement. Okay, this is very important. Say your city has 1,500 gym near me searches per month, right? And even 5% would convert if you showed up at the top. That's 75 prospects a month. You close a third of those, that's 25 new members, right? And at 2,700 in lifetime value each, every single month, right? Every single month, that's $67,500 lifetime value from just 25 new members, right? Let that number sink in there, right? Now, this it's not a guarantee. It's the commercial logic behind why local search matters so much for gyms. And here's where it gets worse. And I want you to sit with this, right? Every member your competitor signs from search leaves a review. And that review strengthens their map ranking. Stronger ranking means more visibility, more calls, more members, more reviews, and it just compounds, right? Month after month, while you just may be staying flat, right? And if the competitor gets far enough ahead in local rankings, the gap becomes genuinely difficult to close. I mean, that's not impossible, but the longer you wait, the harder and more expensive it's going to get. And left long enough, this stops being a marketing problem. It becomes a market share problem. So when someone searches gym near me, right, two things appear on that page. First, you got the map pack, the 3 listings with the pins at the top. And that's where the highest intent clicks are going to go. Most people never scroll past that, right? Think about when you do something similar, when you're doing a search for anything. You don't really kind of keep scrolling. You choose the top or the top 3. Second, the organic website results below for the people doing their homework before they commit, those drive the final decision for the most part. Now, to own that page in your city, you need to show up in both, right? That's the ideal situation. Most gyms show up in neither, right? Your Google business profile powers the map, right? That's what it does for you. And your website powers the organic results. They work as one system. And if either is broken, you bleed prospects you'll never know you even lost. So do this calculation in your head, right? Your monthly fee times 12. That's your rough annual member value. Now, how many new members did Google bring you last month? There's that same question again. Not referrals, not socials, Google. And if the answer is 0 or I don't know, you don't have a marketing problem yet. You have a tracking problem first. And every month that continues is a month your competitor compounds revenue that you could have actually had. And this is very important to understand. Now, I've watched gyms with better facilities, elite coaches, genuinely better products lose to a newer gym with half of all that. And that's just because the newer gym was visible and they weren't. So tonight, I'm going to show you the system that changes all of that. So I hope this is all making sense. So before we go further, by the way, let me just explain to you why I'm actually hosting this, why I'm the one that's hosting this, right? My name is Amit Sharma. I'm an SEO growth strategist and website investor, as well as online marketer. And I've spent more than 20 years in the search, right? Doing everything from Google to website building, all sorts. And here's why you should listen to me. You're probably saying, who's this guy? Why should I even listen to him? Okay. Again, I've spent 20 plus years into SEO. I've built ranked and scaled websites across a lot of different niches. I've flipped multiple websites over 6 figures, some of them in as little as 3 months. And I've helped gyms and fitness businesses generate serious visibility, rankings, and inquiries on Google. So I want to show you what search-led value looks like. Ranked sites, grown digital assets, and 6-figure exits, right? And look, I'm not saying all this to brag, right? I'm showing it so you understand the lens where I'm looking down through tonight, okay? I've used SEO to create real asset value, ranked sites, grown them, monetized them, and I've sold them for 6 figures. So when I look at Majin Buu's system, I'm not looking at it like a beginner. I'm looking at the mechanism, and the mechanism makes perfect sense. So I'm going to be pretty clear about why I'm backing Kirk and Majin Buu. First of all, it's gym specific. It's a gym specific system. Okay, this is not generic SEO that's repackaged for gyms, right? It's built around local search, maps, reviews, organic rankings, website authority, and lead capture. And it's built to compound. Talking about visibility, calls, members, reviews, stronger rankings, right? And I've actually reviewed this through the eyes of someone who understands SEO very deeply. And that's why I'm more than comfortable putting my name next to it. So that's where I'm coming from, just so you know who I am and why you should kind of listen to me a little bit, right? So let me show you proof, right? But we're saying, okay, what are we all talking about? Let's go ahead and see some proof here. So let's start right in your world, okay? This is Majin Buu's work in the gym and fitness market, right? From 0 organic keywords to 37,055 and 40,879 people finding them through search every single month. This is not theory. The framework has been applied inside the fitness market. Now, here's one that's closest to home for a gym, Local Maps. When they started, it was pretty much invisible, right? 20th or worse. I mean, nobody scrolls that far. Today, they hold the #1 position on Google Maps in their market. For gyms, that's the money position, right? Because map visibility captures the buyer who's ready right now. And you have to see that the pattern in the wider wellness market too, from 0 to 190,730 monthly organic visitors and 104,290 keywords. Now, when search authority compounds, visibility compounds with it. that make sense? So let me just go ahead and slow it down a little bit so you can kind of see a case study that this is a great case study, which I want to show you here. It's something that's, it's actually even harder than local gym SEO. And this is a national supplements market. Now, this is published. It's a verifiable case study, okay? So let's get started with it. You're probably wondering, okay, why is Amit talking about supplements? Why is he doing a supplements case study to a gym owner? And here's why. Supplements is a brutally competitive niche. Local gym SEO is far less crowded, far less sophisticated, and far more winnable, right? Supplements is one of the most brutal verticals to grow organically anywhere. Long-established brands, massive retailers, authoritative publishers, million-dollar content budgets, and Google applies its strictest quality standards to health content, okay? It's one of the hardest ones to actually go for. So if a system can 10x organic growth against national brands, your local gym market is it has a completely different level of advantage. And your competition is it's not Amazon, WebMD, or national publishers, right? It's the gym down the road or across the street or just a few blocks down with much weaker SEO. They've got fewer reviews, very thin content, and an under-optimized website. Now, when Majin started with this particular client in July 2025, look, I mean, they weren't at zero, right? They were capped. 934 monthly organic visitors, right? Not zero, just capped. Now, that's exactly where many gyms are. They're visible enough to exist, but not visible enough to dominate, okay? And here's the baseline. 934 organic visitors per month, right? A small handful of keywords ranking in the top 10, very limited keyword breadth, so traffic dependent on a small group of terms, low authority profile versus direct competitors, and zero visibility in AI-powered search, right? And as you know, this is absolutely huge these days. AI is taking over. We all know that, right? So the site had demand, but what it lacked was scale, depth, and authority. Okay. Now, if this sounds familiar, this is exactly where most gyms are, right? You got a website, it technically exists, few people find it, but it's capped. And you have no clue or no idea how to uncap it. So the specific challenge, which is harder than your market, right? Traffic depended on a few keywords. One algorithm shift could easily wipe it out, right? Competitors had deeper content on every topic. Authority sites intercepted buyer intent searches, so people ready to purchase never actually reached them. Backlink growth wasn't very competitive. And again, no presence in AI search. And this is where, like I said, this is where a growing share of buying decisions now actually starts, right? So the issue wasn't traffic alone. It was credibility. It's very simple, right? And this is exactly why more than likely your gym's issue is too. Okay, you don't appear. When you don't appear, it's not because your gym isn't good. It's because Google has no reason to trust you over the gym that does appear. And they ran the same 5 steps I'm about to show you. And here's how it mapped, okay? We got foundation growth, deep competitor research, where they were strong, where they were weak, which backlinks actually contributed, resolved keyword cannibalization, rebuilt titles and meta descriptions for trust and clarity, right? Fixed crawl efficiency, huge. Indexation, speed, mobile duplicates, internal links. This is everything that Google looks at, okay? And content growth, huge, right? 10x content every single month. In-depth, expert level ingredient explanations, use cases, education that supported product claims. It's a clear structure that both search engines and AI systems can interpret. Every piece has a purpose. Okay, it's very important to understand that. Every piece has a purpose. And with AI now, you must have a very strong Google presence for AI to even trust you. So let's move on to link growth. Contextual links from relevant sites, right? Outreach to health, wellness, and nutrition publishers. They earn links from lifestyle, health publications, a natural anchor distribution. So it's authority without volatility, okay? And AI search optimization, structured content for AI interpretation, because more buying decisions, like I said before, now start with an AI answer. It's not blue links, right? Reinforced topical relationships, consistent entity signals. So AI systems recognize the brand as a trusted source, right? Now, I want you to have a look at this. From July 2025 to January 2026, the 7 months, right? Here's what happened. 934 to 10,200 monthly organic visitors. Now that is more than 10x, using the same authority building principles Majin Buu adapts for gyms, right? Now just look at that and let that sink in. So you want to know the full scoreboard? 325 organic keywords, up from just a handful, okay? Domain rating 31, up from a low authority profile. 572 total backlinks built, 211 referring domains earned, okay? 5 AI overview appearances. Now this is pretty hard to do. A lot of people don't know how to do these sort of things, because now it's not about SEO, it's GEO, which is generalized engine optimization, right? And it's, as I said, it's hard to do it in this niche. And as you can see, there's more than 10x traffic growth in 7 months. So these numbers matter because they show the growth wasn't just one lucky page, right? It was authority built across the whole site. And that's something that you really need to understand. So this makes the growth defensible, because before a few pages carried it and one update could absolutely erase it all. But now it's spread across many clusters. There's no single update or competitor that can wipe it out. There's no way, right? But look, don't take my word for it. This is publicly verifiable, right? Check it after this webinar. I don't want to get you distracted right now, but I do want you to know that this is real, right? I've sat through webinars. I'm sure you've sat through webinars where case studies felt, a little too perfect, but this is one you can go ahead and actually verify. Now, what does 10x organic growth mean in gym revenue, right? Let's translate SEO growth into gym owner numbers, right? This next part is a model built on conservative gym industry numbers. So here's a common starting point for an under-optimized gym, right? Low Google visibility, low organic website traffic, a few trackable search-led inquiries with, again, no real way to know where they actually came from. Now, what happens when visibility compounds? More qualified visibility, you appear when buyers are actually searching, and more calls and inquiry opportunities from people that are ready to act. You don't have to convince them. They've already got their card out, right? More trials and memberships when follow-up is handled properly. That's what's going to happen. And look, here's an example. Here's an example revenue model here, which using a strong gym offer stack. I mean, your numbers will vary based on pricing, close rate, sales process, retention, and obviously the offer stack. But look, let's say you get 50 new members, 179 a month. That's 8,950 in new monthly recurring revenue, right? 40%, let's say, take an annual plan, right? $17.99 up front. Let's say there's 20 of them That's 35,980 collected that month. Then you got 30% that may add a transformation program at 1,497. Let's say it's 15 members. That's just over 22 grand, right? And then you got 25% that join a semi-private PT pod, which you've got 349 a month. Let's say that's 12 members. That's 4,188 in additional MRR, right? Now, this is an example month. 71,573 collected. Plus, and this is the important part, 13,138 in new monthly recurring revenue that repeats every month after, right? This is the most important part. This is huge. And this is the model. Again, it's not the guarantee. The guarantee is around measurable movement in visibility, calls, and inquiries. That's what the guarantee is here. And that's what's most important. Now, you got to remember, 2 to 3 months, right, of compounding later, this model will cross 100,000 in monthly revenue easily. And that's the math behind tonight's title. It's not a magic promise, okay? A commercial model built on compounding visibility, stronger conversion, better follow-up, and a gym with the right offer stack. That's why the system includes helping you structure yours, right? So let's see how Majin Buu actually do it. Now, they call it the Google Member Acquisition Loop, the system that turns search visibility into calls, into trials, into members and reviews. So let me just go ahead and pull back the actual curtain for you, right? Now, most agencies report on activity, all right? Clicks, impressions, rankings, numbers that look reasonable, but they never explain why isn't the phone ringing? Like, why is nothing happening? These numbers are great, but I'm not getting a call, right? Now, this system, it measures tracked calls, tracked website inquiries, booked trials, and search attributed opportunities, the numbers that pay your lease, right? Most agencies, again, they're not specific. They use a recycled playbook. They'll, use templates for plumbers and dentists, but they'll just put gym instead of it, right? They'll just swap the word out. This is built around how people actually choose a gym, right? Google Maps, reviews, location, trust, website clarity, fast response. And most agents give you disconnected tactics that never really add up. And this runs as one integrated system where every component feeds the other, right? The magic isn't one tactic, it's the sequence which follows up into compounding, right? And here's how Majin Buu builds that loop. There's 5 steps: foundation, local search, content authority, link authority, and tracking plus insight. Each does this very specific job, but together they compound. And it's going to be very hard, if not impossible, for a competitor to replicate this quickly, literally. Step 1, right? Let's look at it. We fix the foundation. Your site, the tracking, the pages, the mobile experience, and the search structure have to be strong enough for Google to trust you, like I said before, and for prospects to contact you as well. There's going to be audits, keyword research, on-page SEO, technical fixes, and your baseline is documented on day 1, right? And step 2, we got to win with Google Maps. And this is the most clicked position on the page, right? GBP optimization, reviews, photos, services, Q&A, posts, citations, and local relevance. Now, don't underestimate this part. An incomplete Google profile will quietly cost you clicks, right? It's very important to understand this. Categories, reviews, photo, services, posts, and Q&A, they all influence whether a buyer trusts you enough to call, or are they going to scroll back to that gym that looks more complete than yours, right? So this is where step 3 comes in. You become the local authority. That's what Majin Buu is going to do. It's going to build the pages and content, future members, before they search, before they decide. Comparisons, you're going to get local guides, program pages, beginner pages, transformation content, content that actually ranks and keeps generating leads without any ongoing ad spend, right? That's the beauty about this. Now, step 4, once you build authority other gyms don't have, this is the part most gyms never touch, right? Relevant links and local authority signals that will actually help Google trust your gym more than the competitors around you. Built deliberately, but safely, so they actually compound. And then we got step 5. Track what turns into money. Calls, inquiries, rankings, traffic, trial bookings, and what needs improving next. Right? Monthly reporting and a real monthly conversation about what actually moved. This is what a lot of other agencies will not do at all. I've seen it firsthand. And here's how the loop compounds. You got visibility that creates calls, calls create trials, trials create members, members create reviews, and reviews strengthen visibility. And every month it makes it harder to catch for any competitor. So let's look at an honest 90-day timeline here, right? You're probably asking, okay, well, how long do I have to wait to get any sort of results, right? Days 1 to 30. It's going to be foundation tracking, the GBP rebuild, right? Days 30 to 60, you're looking at visibility movement, early call and inquiry signals, and from day 60 to 90, stronger local presence, clearer lead attribution are going to happen. And then from months 4 to 6, this is where the compounding occurs with the content, reviews, links, and authority. So $100,000 a month revenue engine does not come from one tactic, like I've said before. It comes from a multitude of them. It comes from visibility, trust, follow-up, and compounding execution. And that's exactly what Majin Buu builds for you. And that's why I'm more than happy to back them up, because I've rarely seen anyone else do it the way they do. So before I tell you what's next, right, you got to sit with this. Where your gym is right now. Is it a Google profile untouched for months? A website capped at maybe a few hundred visitors? Competitors quietly collecting the searches that should have been yours. Now, picture 12 months from now, right? Visibility compounding month over month, the phone's ringing from Google, membership growing predictably without ad spend, and competitors are trying to figure out what the heck's changed, what's going on. But they won't be able to catch up, nowhere near. But hey, before I show you the offer, is this even for you? Right, let's make this clear. This is for you if you already run a real gym, you can handle more calls and trials, and you want a done-for-you system rather than another course or, something that you have to actually physically implement on a daily basis. And you understand that search compounds over months, not overnight. Okay, this is not an overnight sensation. It takes a while, but it is bulletproof. Now, it's not for you if you want instant paid ad leads tomorrow, right? Or, if you won't track calls or follow up, or you want to dabble here for 30 days and then quit, or you're not serious about owning your local market, right? However, if it is you, that version of your gym is available. All it needs is a system. That's it. It just needs the system. So when you join, Majin Buu begins building right away. It starts building your 90-day Google member acquisition system, done for you implementation. Again, it's not a roadmap you're left to figure out for all by yourself. All right, and here's what it looks like. Step 1, you got market and territory onboarding. Right, you got to confirm your protected territory, map your competitors, lock your target keywords, and build the first 90-day plan together. That's what's going to happen. Step 2 is website and tracking foundation. technical audit, content audit, tracking setup. So every inquiry is measurable, right? Keyword mapping and a baseline visibility report. Then you've got step 3, Google Maps and a GBP rebuild. Category services, structured photos, weekly posts, seated Q&A, citations across the listings that actually matter, and reviews will start flowing continuously. Then we got step 4, authority content starts here. Local service pages, comparison content, program pages, and buyer intent, search-led education. Step 5 is where we're going to do authority and link planning. Local link opportunities, relevant publisher prospects, safe manual authority building, and competitor gap tracking. Then we got step 6, monthly growth dashboard, and calls and inquiries will be fully tracked. Organic visibility and keyword movement will be shown, GBP actions and clear next actions every single month. And again, this isn't a roadmap that they hand to you to execute yourself. This is what they execute for you. Your job is to run the gym, right? Majin Buu runs the search system. That's what's going to get you clients or potential clients for you to close. Month 1 starts the moment you enroll, right? There's no waiting around here. Now, tonight also includes the full implementation stack, right? These aren't inflated add-ons, they're actually built into the whole system. All right, Implementation Accelerator 1, this is the lead capture CRM setup, content management, lead pipeline, automated follow-up, membership tracking, fully configured, right? So every Google inquiry is captured, it's tracked, it's followed up, and no lead falls through the cracks. Then we got Accelerator 2, right? This is the review and reputation engine, proven review generation and reputation management. So you collect more 5-star reviews continuously, because reviews are what are going to help you get chosen and strengthen local visibility over time. Then we got Accelerator 3, AI lead assistant plus receptionist. This is huge. I absolutely love this. It instantly engages new leads. It answers common questions. It qualifies the prospects for you, and it books appointments 24/7, right? Confirming bookings and sending reminders, lifting show-up rates without any extra staff, right? This is the beauty about how powerful AI can be now. Then we've got Accelerator 4. Back to AI search and GEO visibility setup. Again, GEO is what's really shifting now from SEO. This is generalized engine optimization, right? Search is shifting to AI-powered answers, like I've said before, pulled from trusted directories and structured content. Now, Majin Buu structures your presence so Google and AI results understand who you are, what you offer, and where you serve. And that's going to future-proof your visibility. Then we got Accelerator 5. This is the website security and maintenance. So we'll have ongoing updates to softwares, plugins, themes, security, reducing vulnerabilities so your site stays secure and running while the growth work compounds, right? It's absolutely a bulletproof system here. Then we got Accelerator 6. So you're going to have a dedicated account manager who knows your gym, your local market, your offer, and the growth plan. Your main point of contact, coordinating the team, giving updates, and tracking progress. So that's basically the full implementation stack, right? The CRM, review engine, AI follow-ups, GEO setup, maintenance, account management. It's all included when you enroll from this webinar. It's not sold as add-ons, like I said, or upsells. It's all built into the system. Now, look, I know I have when I first started. I know you've probably been burned before as well. But here's the guarantee, right? The 120-day tracked lead movement guarantee. If Majin Buu doesn't show measurable improvement in tracked Google calls, tracked website inquiries, or qualified organic visibility within 120 days, right, they will keep working for free until they actually do. There's no fees. They can't control whether every lead becomes a member. You gotta remember that. You still have to do the selling. You still have to close the sale, but they're accountable for the visibility, the calls and inquiries that the system is built to create. And this is real, guys. This is, this is not a sales tactic. This is the part that I really love about Majin Buu. They're not all about taking over everything. They're going to give you protected territory. So that means that when one direct competitor per local market is going to be done, that's it, right? Majin Buu works with you. They won't take on a directly competing gym in your agreed territory, right? That's it. So there's no conflict of interest here. And this means that if a direct competitor claims your territory first, they can't work with you. They can't work with you in the same market. So before onboarding, your protected territory is confirmed very clearly, right? City, radius, postcode, zip area, local market, depending on your actual gym type. So I absolutely love this part, right? Because I think this is very important that a lot of agencies don't really do. Now, before I show you the actual investment, I want you to see what this would actually cost if you went to a generic agency, or some people say, hey, well, I could probably do this myself. It's no biggie. Easy, right? No, it's not. Trust me, I've been there, I've done it, I've been through the trenches. And to have various outsource agencies handle all those 5 steps, plus every implementation piece we just covered, I mean, you're looking at least six to 7,000 a month. I'd average of 6,800 a month retail, right? Here's the breakdown. The 5-step growth system alone, technical SEO and foundation, 750. Google Maps and GBP, 600. Then you got authority content at 1,500. Manual link building at 1,200. Tracking, reporting, easy 350. So that in itself is 4,400 a month. Right? Then you got the implementation stack, the lead capture CRM, easy, another 500. The review engine at 400. The AI lead assistant, 500 easy. AI search and GEO setup at 450. Website security and maintenance at 150. Having a dedicated account manager, 400 bucks. So that's another 2,400 a month. Now you add it all up and you're at 6,800 a month. Every single month, right? Just to hire it out piece by piece. But look, here's the thing, right? Even at 6,800 a month, if this is what builds $100,000 a month gym business, it's worth it, right? It's still worth it, which is exactly what makes what I'm about to show you pretty much unfair. Okay, are you ready for it? Here's the deal that we've got going for you right now. $1,500 a month for everything. I mean everything. I mean, I'm talking full onboarding, monthly execution of your Google member acquisition system with the full implementation stack included tonight at no additional cost, right? The minimum commitment is simply 6 months. That's it. That to me is a no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Now to put that in perspective, 10 new members, that $150 a month. That's $1,500 in new MRR. At 18 months average retention, that's $27,000 in lifetime value. The goal isn't 1 month of leads. It's a search asset that compounds. That's the beauty of this. Because look, you have to remember that you're not buying SEO here, right? You're building a permanent member acquisition asset. Rankings, reviews, content, authority, and follow-up that keep working long after the first month, right? The CRM captures every single lead. The AI assistant works them around the clock, 24/7. So, I mean, to me, I personally, if I had something like this a decade ago, wow, absolute no-brainer. Now, this is the link in the chat right now. This is how you get started. And this is what I encourage you to do. To me, there's not much to really think about. If you want to be successful, you need this and you will not get it for a better price. And you have to remember, These guys have been doing it for a while. They know what they're doing. They're gym specific. They're not generalized. Okay. So I encourage you, click the link, secure the checkout. It takes a few minutes, right? Remember, your territory is locked for you. And onboarding begins within 48 hours, if not less. And your 90-day plan is built with you. So you don't have to figure anything out, right? You just have to make a very simple decision. That's it. So this is something that I think that, I mean, whether or not you have questions, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to go through it, right? If you have questions, you can drop it here in the chat. One of us will get back to you ASAP. The proof is public, right? The model is clear. The system is built. It's proven. The only question is whether your territory is still available, right? So if you have questions, please do drop it down in the chat, and one of us will get back to you. And if you're thinking of your question, just remember that 9 p.m. search, right? Someone in your city is typing gym near me right now. The demand already exists. The only question is, who's going to capture it? Is it going to be your gym? So the only question is whether they find you, or is it going to be the gym down the street? So look, click the link. I guarantee you will not be disappointed. But if you have a question, we're here for you. Reserve your territory. If your market is open, Majin Buu can begin building the system with you. So thank you so much for this. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it's opened up your eyes to see exactly how you can get your gym to be where you want it to be. All right, this is not an overnight sensation. These guys have been in the game for so many years. I've been in the game for over 2 decades, and I haven't seen much anything like it at all. So to me, it's an absolute no-brainer. But if you have any questions, we're here for you every single step of the way. Hit that link below, get it going. This time next year will be a completely different world for you. Thank you again for watching. Take care, guys.